Welcome to Thursday's market. SITREP here at Top Gun Options. Whiz here, the primary and weekly options model portfolio manager at TGO, and got some numbers out this morning. The revised Q1 GDP, huge revision to the downside here. Preliminary GDP down 1%, and we kind of knew that was coming, but that is a huge miss, and the kind of the consensus was a contraction of about 0.4%, but that wasn't even close. And we called this, folks, when that Q1 GDP number came out. We called it here, Top Gun Options, and said that thing is going to come out negative. The only reason Q1 GDP was initially positive was Obamacare. Mandatory government spending was the only thing that drove GDP higher, and that's not a good thing. That's if your country, if your GDP is growing just on mandatory government spending, one-time government spending, you know that we're in for trouble here. But I'm seeing the 500-pound heads reading the current mix of macroeconomic data and saying that Q2 GDP is going to be a lot stronger. Don't necessarily disagree. I don't think it's going to be negative, but I'm seeing folks throw numbers out there around 4.5%, which is just, I don't know what hopium they're smoking. Obviously, the Fed's hopium, but I think we might see maybe half of that, in my opinion. But I don't see too much better than that. I mean, I'm down here in South Florida. Housing sector's slowing down. Underemployment. We got weekly jobless claims out this morning, about 21,000, better than expected. So, relatively good news. And had some good news overseas, not necessarily out of Ukraine. I saw a helicopter get shot down, 14 people on board get killed, including a very high-ranking Ukrainian general. So do we care? Of course not. The market doesn't care, so we don't care. Well, I actually care, because it's these type of events that are on page A12 that can move to page A1 pretty quickly and impact the market here. So I'm keeping an eye on that. But the retail sales overseas in Japan absolutely imploded, but that was kind of to be expected because of the April 1st sales tax increase from 5 to 8%. We'll see if Japan weathers that and keeps on pressing forward. Some deal information today, this morning as well, with Tyson Foods and also Apple buying Beats. So the futures are kind of wallowing, but indicating up. Obviously, in the absence of bad news, as we know, this market goes up. That's buying of bonds and stocks continues an event-free overnight session. So again, in the absence of bad news, everything's great, even though we know everything's not great, and the market drifts relatively higher. Okay, and we're going to talk about that this afternoon at 1 p.m. So you can register for our live trading session and training session at 1 p.m. because we're going to talk about this puppy. I mean, the VIX for a while there was down, hovering around 11. Which is just absolutely nuts, folks. Based on everything that's going on in the world, for the VIX to be down here below its long-term resting heart rate, I mean, as you can tell, usually for the past couple months, for the past year, something has happened every month to freak the market the hell out and cause a spike in volatility. And look at this. Apparently, based on the VIX, peace, love, and understanding is broken out all over the place. I'm not so sure about that. From the Middle East to what's going on in Asia, to what's going on in Europe and Ukraine, and just here in the United States domestically, as far as macroeconomic data, for the VIX to be down here, we're getting ready to enter hurricane season, and nobody's buying hurricane insurance, it looks like. When vol's cheap, you buy it. When it's expensive, you sell it. That is, it can't get any more basic than that, folks. So I'm going to be stocking up on hurricane insurance this afternoon at 1 p.m. because it makes sense. The last time to buy hurricane insurance is when the hurricane's on top of your house. You can buy it, and it's going to cost you essentially what your house costs. So that's not a good thing. So you always want to be prepared for a rapid turn in this market to the downside or a spike in volatility. And we're going to talk about that in our live trading session today. Okay, so I got to run. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. I'll see you guys at 1 o'clock, and I'll be back tomorrow for Friday's market wrap-up over at Wealth Creation Investing. We'll see you.